This webinar is about digital media analytics. First, this is mainly introduction of the class, and we'll talk about dashboards in detail. What are dashboards? What are the advantages, and how we use it for digital media analytics? First of all, this is the agenda of today. So, we'll understand the objective of using digital media analytics, why we use it, why it is required, and what are the advantages of using digital media analytics, why in today's world we cannot do without it. Second topic that we'll touch upon is the different requirements by companies in different stages. We all know there are multiple stages of a company. Some company are in their initial stages of journey. Some companies have reached to a certain maturity level, and some companies are running on an advanced stage. So every company has their own requirements. And lastly, we'll touch on the dashboards. So where we'll understand what type of dashboards exist and what are the requirements we need to tap and track. So in case you have any queries, you have any questions, you can just type in the questions and we'll take up the questions at the end of the session. Also, if you feel I am a bit fast or I'm a bit slow, just raise your hand so that I can check the speed and probably we can take it further from there. So shall we start? Shall we begin? Okay, great. Let me first introduce myself. So I'm Ankur Maheshwari, and currently I'm heading the analytics and operations division in Havas Media, India. So I have about 9 years of experience in total, and with around 7 years in digital media analytics. So I have worked on product management, I have worked on digital marketing, I have worked on program management in e-commerce companies, and right now I'm consulting various companies and how to leverage the digital media to improve their performance and ROI. Okay, so we have a friend Annie. Annie is asking us what is the main objective of digital media analytics. So guys, like any other analytical study or like any other analytics, digital media analytics primarily consists of 3 points. First, to record the data. Second, to analyze the data. And thirdly, to report the data. By this we mean the digital media analytics focuses on digital part of entire analytics. So it's a very specialized and very focused division of analytics where you focus only on digital performance. So if there's a website, if there's a mobile app or a company which has a digital presence, maybe in Facebook media, maybe in LinkedIn, maybe in Twitter, YouTube, anything. So digital media analytics deals with the study of digital performance. You will have to record the data from digital presence. You'll have to record your website data. You'll have to record your YouTube data, your LinkedIn data, Facebook data. Secondly, you'll have to analyze what's happening. How are users behaving? How are customers reacting? What's their feedback? How they are taking your products? What are the things that they need? What are the feedback that they're giving you on your digital platforms? And thirdly, you'll have to report the data. So you'll have to report the findings after analyzing. Okay, after my analysis, I found out say 60% are happy with the product, 40% are not. For example, I launched one product, say mobile. I analyze my digital data and I figure out that 70% of the people of my customers are saying that they are facing a problem with the start button. So all this is reporting. So digital media analytics deals with the study of digital properties. This is what Annie has to say. So main objective of digital media analytics is to measure the performance of your digital property, analyze it, and report the information in such a way that actionable insights can be deduced from those reports. Now, this is very important. Any data that we report has to be actionable. Without actionable items, the data loses its value, its importance. Whatever analysis we do should result in some action. What we'll do in order to understand what digital analytics means, we'll look at the companies at various stages. So as an example, let's say we want to analyze an e-commerce company. So the company will see its various stages of growth. So accordingly, as per its growth, as per its stage, its requirements will also change. So I'll show you a practical live example. Just hold on, let me open a live website. Okay, yeah. Let's take the example of Flipkart. So now here, what we see is a home page. So here are a lot of things that can be recorded and tracked. Suppose I type here something, I type here phones in the search box. Now this is one action which can be recorded, and company can figure out in a day how many people are typing phones so that they can understand what is the demand of phones. Secondly, I can click on this button, celebrate Raksha Bandhan, love, care, and affection. So this is one of the banners which they are promoting on their homepage. I can click on this banner and or I can click on shop now and I can go to the Raksha Bandhan page, which will display dedicated products related to this festival. So basically, company will track how many people are clicking on this banner ad. You can say this link. So how many people are coming to homepage? Out of that, how many people are clicking on this ad will give you a performance measure. Okay, this is how this ad is performing. Maybe I can compare it with this point, shoot, buy, and I can see that whether this is performing better, celebrate Raksha Bandhan, or this is performing better, point, shoot, buy. So that will determine which of the two ads or ad spots are performing better, how the creatives are performing better. So that's what digital analytics is about. So you'll have to compare things, you'll have to figure out what's their performance in real digital world, and whichever is performing better has to optimize to give you better returns. Coming back to our presentation, yeah. So now mainly companies can be divided into three sections broadly. Of course, this is there will be many stages, but just for simplicity, we'll assume they are divided into three stages. First is the inception stage or the founding stage. So in inception, the company is very small. It has just been started. The company has been founded. So right now, the people in the company are working on the product. So their first challenge is to prove the validity of the product. So they need to prove that whatever they have developed is actually demandable in the market. People, there's a demand for it. They have to create that demand. So they'll test the product with a certain test audience, and they will see how it's working. So in this stage, the main focus is on product development and product improvement. So for example, I develop a mobile app. So initial stages will be I have to test it with say 100 audience, and I have to see which features people like, which features my test audience does not like, and accordingly I'll make changes and improve on it. So the focus of digital media analytics at this stage is mainly on product improvement. So I will track a lot of things about product features. I will track say what button people are clicking. I will track what is the user behavior when they land on a home page. I will track whether they're clicking my Raksha Bandhan banner or they're clicking my camera banner. So I will see a lot of things. I will track user behavior to understand what people are doing on my website, whether they are facing any difficulties in proceeding further, or everything is working fine. So in this stage, the main focus is always on product, where you have to improve your product. You have to rectify all the mistakes, and you have to make your product ready for the mass market. Second stage is the growth phase. So let me use a highlighter. Yeah. So second stage is the growth phase, where people focus, they have proved their product. So my product, all the issues which were in initial stages have been rectified. And now I'm ready to go for the mass market. I'm ready to launch my product to a wider audience. Testing is over. All the issues, bugs, and all the features, I know now what people like, what people don't like. And I'm ready to launch the final product in the market. So in this phase, my main focus will be on growth. So I will try to acquire new audience as much as possible, since my product is new in the market. So I'll have to market aggressively across the sectors, across my segments. So I'll have to target my audience. Suppose if my product is relevant to female only, I will target female audience. If my product is relevant to certain age group, say if I'm selling jeans which is meant for students going to colleges, so I will restrict my marketing to that age group, and I will try to gather as many customers as possible. I'll try to make as many registrations of the certain age group as possible. So this phase will be mainly focusing on marketing activities. Accordingly, our analytical requirements will also change. So the more focus will be on the marketing of product, and we'll have to figure out which channels are working and which are not. So marketing channels are basically sectors where you can market your product. For example, in digital world, you can market your product on Google by using Google Ads. You can market your product using search engine optimization, which is natural search results coming on the Google. Then you can market your product on Facebook. You can use LinkedIn. You can use YouTube and whatnot. There are a lot of referrals, lot of affiliate programs, digital, which are available. So even offline, you can market it on newspaper. You can market it on print media. So there are n number of channels where you can market your product, and the focus of analytics at this stage is to figure out which channel is performing for you, which channel is not performing for you. so that in the next stage you'll have a concrete answers, you'll have a concrete understanding and learnings that okay, this is what my product is, this is which channels perform for me. And now moving to the third stage, which you have already established a product, you have already established a market, and now you're looking forward to increase your market share, and also you want to retain the audience which you have already gained. So in this stage, which is aiming for retention and increased market share, you will focus on mainly both the things, your product improvements, because it's a recurring process. So by this time, your product will also have some improvements, some new features being launched, some new upcomings. And secondly, your marketing activities have been stabilized. You understand now where to invest and how to invest. And so your marketing activity will be divided into two portions. One is retaining the existing customers which you have gained in growth phase. And second, obviously, you'll have to acquire more and more new customers. So these two activities are a bit different in nature. In retaining customers, you'll have to focus on sales of your existing products. So your focus will be to get more sales from existing customers. And in acquiring new customers, your focus will be to acquire new customers by luring them through incentives, through offers, through discounts, and many other parameters. So basically, summarizing, let's read through these three phases and understand what they mean. So in inception phase, we take small initiatives. So companies mainly focusing on product. They have limited budgets because you have not yet raised the funds from external markets. So you are running on a limited, say, seed funding or bootstrapping methods. So your funds are also limited. Hence, you will not go into mass marketing. You'll focus mainly on product improvements. So your main focus is on learning the user behavior and how they react to your product, so that you can improve the product and go to next stage. In growth phase, your validity of product has already been established. You have rectified all the errors. You have understood how customers are behaving to your product, and now you are ready to expose the final version to a wider audience. Hence, your focus is on customer acquisition. In the third stage, you have enough members on your portal. So you already have an existing customer base. Now you need to start selling your product to them. You need to cross sell, you need to upsell, and also you need to acquire new customers. But you also have to ensure the sales from existing customers. Hence, your marketing activities is divided into two sections: one dedicated to new acquisitions, one dedicated to increasing sales from existing customers. Now, since you are in a market, you have stabilized everything, so your focus is on profitability and effectiveness, because also your investors might be looking out for that. And so you need to keep your product refreshed, as we discussed. So you'll have to continuously reinvent your product, because a lot of by this time a lot of competitors will also have caught up by you, so they will also be starting new things. So again, the product innovation is something which is a ongoing continuous process. So in last stage, your basically this is the maturity stage where your analytics focuses on all the three things. First, your marketing; second, your product; and thirdly, your user behavior. Yeah. So basically, one thing is that in all these three stages, we have to measure things, how things are performing. Now, there is a favorite saying which I always love, that if you cannot measure something, then you cannot improve it, which is 100% true. So in digital websites, in not only websites, mobile apps, in your LinkedIn, Facebook, there are a lot of measurable things which will help you understand what to improve on. So there are some common KPIs that I will discuss now, which we need to measure so that it will help us improve things. So before this, I want to show you an example. Uh, what all can be measured. So for example, if we go back to our website, Flipkart. Yeah. So in Flipkart, as I mentioned, we can measure search. Suppose I type here mobiles, it can be measured. So the company can track in a day, they get 10 million searches for mobile. So they know there's a demand for mobile. Secondly, if I click on men section, they will know exactly how many people are clicking on men, how many people are clicking on women, what is the demand for baby and kids section, what is the demand for home and furniture section. So all these things are measurable. Whatever you see on the website that can be clicked is measurable. And this is what exactly digital analytics is. So people measure what is in demand, what people want to know, what people want to see, and accordingly actions and calls have been taken, business calls have been taken, so that there should be no scarcity, there should be no business loss. In the, I mean, it's like a potential opportunity loss. If suppose I want to search for mobiles and it does not return me anything, it means they have lost a customer. So this is what potential opportunity is, which they don't want to lose. So next time they'll have something for it. So similarly, when we go back to our presentation, so in products, when we work on product improvement, there are a lot of things that can be measured. So first thing we start with is user engagement. So anything that user do on your website, he comes to a product page, he compares your product with 10 available products, he see the photographs of your product, or any activity that he's doing on your website or a mobile app. That's known as user engagement. So this user engagement can be measured. Suppose you want people to read reviews before buying a phone, so it's measurable. You can measure whether people are doing it or not. Second thing is user interactions, which is similar to user engagement, but it's on a wider level. So you can measure user interaction, how they're interacting with your portal and your mobile apps, whether they are actually filling the forms or not, whether they're leaving their information or not. Then there are product touch points such as images, reviews, feedbacks, and everything. So in product, there are a lot of things that can be measured to actually define whether the users that you're getting, whether the product that you've developed is achieving towards success or not, or whether there needs an improvement. Similarly, in marketing, we can measure a whole lot of things. We can measure the performance of social media, how people are reacting to your social media page, what is their reaction to your post, whether they are sharing your post, whether they're liking it, or what are they doing with the post, or are they buying from a social media page you have launched recently an offer, whether they are enticed by it or not, whether they are attending your events or not. Similarly, we have email marketing. So in email marketing, you reach out to your mass audience. So what is the reaction to it? Are they clicking on register now? Are they clicking on buy now? Or is there any particular product which they're interested in where they're clicking on the email? And whole lot of things. How many people have actually opened your email? How many people have not opened your email? So all these things are trackable. In display advertising, how people are reacting to your banner ads, uh, are they attracted to the advertisement that you are doing or not? So all that is measured by clicks, by display impressions, and other things. Then we have paid search advertising, which is Google. So how people see your ads, whether they're clicking or not. We have referral marketing, where you have a lot of other websites who give traffic to your website or to your mobile app. So all this can be measured in marketing section. When we come down to technology, so in technology, digital media analytics measures, say, website downtime. So though we feel that a website is 100% available, but it's not so. So most of the websites are 99 point something, some percentage available on the market. So they are down for maintenance. They are down for say flaws like bugs, or if load server time is very high, they go down. So there are a lot of issues which happens from technology perspective. So this point is valid for a technology team who needs to always keep a track on what is the website downtime in a month, what percentage of time website was down, and so that, because it impacts your customers. So if website is down, say more than 90%, then it's actually bad. You are losing 10% of your customers because of your website is down. So all these things are important, and they need to be tracked and measured so that actionable items can be taken. So then we have average speed. So it has been noted that if average speed of a website loading is less than 4 seconds, then people tend to stick and do activities. But if load time is more than 4 seconds, then usually 70% to 80% of people close the browser. So average speed is very, very important metric for a technology team, and they have to always reduce the website load time speed. It depends on a lot of factors. There are a lot of JavaScripts running on a website. Then there are some images which are very heavy. There are videos which are heavy. So all these things have to be optimized by technology team, and all of this information comes through data, through digital media analytics. Then we have page load time. Just like average speed, page load time is again for individual pages. So for example, I am viewing a video, it's taking very long, it's very slow. So that page load is very slow. So I'll probably close the browser and go to some other website. I may go to their competitors. Let's take an example. I am watching a review of say mobile phone. So now I see that page is so slow that I'll probably be fed up of the product itself. That guys, if these guys cannot keep a good website, what mobile they will keep? So it's a bad impression on brand as well. So that's why all these metrics are very important. Technology metrics are very important. The customer experience has to be perfect, and it can be improved from by tracking all these parameters from technology sides. So then there are some website specific features, like you have some audios or videos which can be tracked. Your load time, your performance time, your quality, all that can be measured and improved upon. Then other thing which is normally most important from e-commerce point of view is sales and revenues. So we can track what products are sold. We can track what is the revenue generated from products. We can analyze like which category of products is most popular. Say for example, I am selling shoes and socks. Now I realize in my website 80% of the revenues is coming from shoes, and so it makes it's a natural inclination for me to focus more on shoes because it's performing very well as compared to socks. So all this data can be tracked in sales revenues. Now important metrics which can be tracked are average revenue per product sold. So I can see that, okay, on an average my product item that I'm selling is probably say $300 per product. Now in order to increase the revenues, there are two ways. Either I increase my sale numbers. I can, instead of selling 1,000 items, I can sell 10,000 items, or I can increase my average revenue per product sold. Instead of realizing $300 per product, I should sell enough that I realize $500 per product. I should sell premium products. I should sell bundle of products. So if someone is buying shoes, I should also make him buy my socks as well, along with the shoes. So all these metrics play an important role in tracking these you can say parameters and creating these strategies. So then average revenue per transaction, something that we're talking about, like $300 per transaction, or how I can take it up to $500 per transaction. So a lot of websites you would have seen columns like upsell product, people who bought this also bought. So that column will contain products which are related in some way. The what company is trying to do is company is trying to increase its average revenue per transaction. So you have shown interest in pen, they are trying to sell you a copy or a notebook as well. So average number of products per transaction and average revenue per transaction are basically trying to sell more products in the same transaction. So basically these metric can be tracked, and these are important KPIs that needs to be measured in a digital media analytics division. So every team has their own you can say targets. For example, technology team can be given a target website downtime should not be more than 99.8%. So they'll have to focus on it. These numbers can be tracked and they have to perform towards it. Sales per revenues, you have to first measure what you are doing and then you have to improve the targets. Okay, say for next time, right now I am selling my product at say $300 per product sold. I have to increase it to $400 per product sold. Then I will work on the strategy how it can be done. Probably I can say either increase my price of a product, but if competition is doing it, it's selling cheap, then maybe it's not a best idea, it's not a best strategy. So maybe I can add some value by selling shoes. I can sell polish as well. So just a few examples that all these metrics when tracked, you come to know a lot of insights about the product, a lot of insights about your website, about portals, and accordingly you can take strategic calls what to do next. Yeah. So basically, whenever we work on digital analytics, digital media analytics, which is related to websites, which is related to mobile apps, these three things, these three stages are the most relevant. If you, let's take, we have a customer A. So now customer A will visit your portal, he will visit your website or a mobile app, and then he will do various activities on your website or a mobile app. He will click on some buttons, he will view some photographs, he will go to certain sections of your website and whatnot. So he will try to read product reviews, he will try to compare products, all these. So, and lastly, he will either buy the product or he will leave your website. So this is the main, you can say, ambition of any portal, any website, any mobile app. So it can be broken down into three stages. First, visits generated on the portal. So whenever we create a dashboard, whenever we create a dashboard is nothing but a set of reports which help you take intelligent decisions. So that's how we define dashboards. It's a set of reports that will help you take some intelligent decisions at a look, at a glance of it. So by just looking at the dashboard, you can summarize what's going on and what needs to be done to improve certain metrics. So every dashboard will be focused on mainly these three things when it comes to digital media. First, visits generated on the portal, or how many people are coming to your mobile app, what's happening, how many, how many visits you're getting through external, you can say, sources such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Google Ads, paper ads, direct traffic, lot of things. Next, stage is all the activities that they do. So it's basically known as initiation of relevant objectives. So objective is the objective of my website. If I'm an e-commerce portal, the objective of my website is to sell. So any activity which can help me sell that product is known as initiation. So probably I can, if let's take another example now. Let's not take e-commerce. Let's take a travel portal. Let's take TripAdvisor. In TripAdvisor, the objective of TripAdvisor is to book a hotel. So when I open a TripAdvisor, first of all, I decide which location I have to go. I have to go to say London. That is initiation of a objective. I will put destination London on the TripAdvisor box and it will show me all the hotels available in London. Now, I may go to certain hotels. I can check out what's their photographs, what reviews users have written, what is the ratings, what people have commented about that hotel, what they're happy with the service or they're not happy with the service, what are other relevant, you can say objectives, which I can go through. So I can compare prices with various portals. And lastly, after deciding everything, after doing a thorough research on the portal, I will shortlist one of the hotels, or I may not shortlist, and I can close the browser, or I can shortlist one of the hotels, and finally I can book that hotel. That is known as completion of objective. So in this, this is the value chain of a customer. Customer visits your website, he do certain activities, and finally he completes the objective. Now this is known as a conversion rate. People who have completed the objective to the people who have actually visited your portal. For example, I get 100 people visiting my website, out of which 2 people bought the product or 2 people booked a hotel. So that 2% is my conversion rate of the portal. So it has been observed in general in e-commerce market across the world. 1% to 2% is a good, decent, you can say average amount of conversion rate. So for example, I'm not naming the companies, but good e-commerce companies report around 2 to 2.5% conversion rate, which is considered as good. So the dashboard's objective is this is the very generic dashboard. You have to focus on visits, initiation, and conversions. So ultimately, my objective is to improve the conversions from product point of view. If I'm getting 100 visits and only 2% people are converting, if I'm a product manager, my role is to improve that. I will try to improve it from 2% to 3%, 3% to 3.5, 3.5 to 4, and as much as I can. So that's my role as a product manager. I have to give user good experience. People who are being acquired should not go out without buying a product. Now, the role of marketing is to generate these visits. The marketing person will try to get as much traffic, relevant traffic as possible. So they'll try to advertise your portal on various marketing channels that we discussed, like you can do on paid, or you can do Google AdWords, you can do social media, you can do LinkedIn, you can do a lot of things. So their main aim is to bring as many people available, relevant people on your portal as possible. So then finally, the completion of objective is the company's entire goal. They want to sell things, and this is the process how it will happen. This is the funnel, how it filters out. So this is what dashboards focus on. So I'll walk you through dashboards. As we discussed, dashboards are reports, basically a snapshot of reports, which will tell you what's happening on the portal and how intelligent decisions can be taken. So there's no set formula, or there's no set you can say structure for dashboards, but these 3 things are normally involved in dashboards. These 3 are very generic things. Everyone focuses on conversions, everyone focuses on initial visits, and this is the generic funnel which we'll put on dashboards. So moving on. Yeah. So now a company has different, every company has a somewhat similar structure, be it small, be it big. In smaller companies, the structure is more or less flat, but definitely there are roles defined for people. So we will have a marketing guy, we'll have a product guy, we'll have a tech guy, we'll have a CEO, or you can say a management guy who will manage all the 3 activities. So let's talk about this structure and understand what are the marketing requirements. So a chairman of a company or an investor in the company has different dashboard requirements. He will like to see the superficial numbers. He may not want to get into details of why the bounce rate was bounce rate was higher for a website, or why the website downtime was low. But he wants to see overall how many visits happened, how many sales happened, and what's the interaction of the, you can say, audience. Same with the CEO. So he will like to have a superficial image of the company, what's going on, so that he can catch up the hold of the, you can say, stakeholders. If there's a technical issue, he can talk to CTO, he can understand what's the issue. If there's a marketing issue, he can talk to CMO and understand what's happening. If there's a technology breach, he can information breach, he can check with the CIO what's happening. So chairman and CEOs needs to have a bird's eye view of things, but definitely the dashboard should be informative enough that they can catch what's happening, where's the issue are. Next, so after this level, so the requirements of dashboard for these guys is superficial. They want to have a bird's eye view. Then we come to CTO. So CTO needs to have an in-depth knowledge about technical aspects. He may not be interested in what's happening in marketing, but he will definitely be interested in what's the website downtime, what's the performance benchmarks, and what's the load time of the website, and a lot of other things, technical things. So accordingly, CTO will have some product heads and from some tech team under him, which will also be interested in the performance of the website, of the portal, technical side of things. Then if we look at to horizontal level, where we have CMO. So CMO will mainly focus on marketing side of things. He will like to know how his marketing channels are performing, whether they are performing optimally or they're not performing optimally, whether he's losing a lot of money in marketing and he's not getting customers. So all those headache will be CMO's headache, and the dashboard that he wants will definitely include information which will include these things. So he will like to know the performance of various channels at various levels, at various products, and a lot of details. Same with his team. So his team may be divided into digital marketing team, offline team, or they can be regional teams. So digital team will focus on digital aspects of things. They will be focusing on Google AdWords, SEO, SEM, and a lot of things which are digital in nature. Offline team will be focusing on print media, newspapers, your TV media. So how the performance is happening there. And similarly, CIO will focus mainly on information security systems, like what type of traffic they are getting. Are we not get? I mean, he will focus whether we are getting any spam or not, or whether the traffic that we are getting is virus or not. So, and accordingly, he can also decide the criteria of who has access of what in reports. So all these are CEO's dashboard, a part of CEO's dashboard. So coming down, I'll have to remove every time this highlighter. Not an issue. Yeah, let's move down. So what we'll do is we'll take a look at one of the most popular tools, analytics tool, which is Google Analytics. This tool is freely available in the market. That is the beauty of this tool. And more than 56% of the website across the world are using this tool. So that's why it's widely popular, and probably wherever you will refer to digital analytics, this is the first name which will come into the minds of people. Apart from that, there are other tools as well. We have Adobe Omniture, we have Site Catalyst, and we have Web Analytics. But this is the most popular and widely spread, widely used tool. And the another advantage of using Google Analytics is it is easily integratable with many Google properties. So you can easily integrate it with your Google AdWords, with your AdSense, and many other websites, many other Google products. So this is how a dashboard looks like. So here is the section of dashboard. This is my login, guys. I have a website, couponexpress.in, and this is the dashboard of Coupon Express, which I'm showing you for demo purpose. So in here we have dashboards. Here we have list of dashboards. So I can see in this section how many new users have come to my portal within a specified time. Now I can see how many actual users are there, what are the sessions from which geography they are coming. Here I can see by browser what sessions I'm getting. So all this data will actually help me in analyzing my performance. So and now we'll go to the details of various popular dashboards with various stakeholders. Yeah, so here are some custom dashboards which will ease your analysis and are dedicated to a specific purpose. For example, social media dashboard. So now in this dashboard, my focus will be purely on social media. So what I'll do, I can measure overall site visits. So this number tells me how many overall visits have happened. Now I can also see how many new visitors happened from social media. So this number says 82.63%, which is actually very huge. So out of 220,000 visits, 82% came from social media, which means social media is a very, very important channel for me. So only my dashboard is giving me this information. The social media is very, very important channel for me. I should try to improve it as much as possible because maximum visits, more than 82% visits are coming from social media. Next numbers that I can see here is traffic from social sources. So basically it will tell me visits and bounce rates. So guys, I want to tell you about bounce rate. So bounce rate is a very important metric. Bounce rate tells you how much junk traffic you're getting, or traffic which is not useful for you. So bounce rate 60% means out of 100 people who visited your website, 60 people just closed the browser and moved on. So either they visited your website accidentally, or with whatever expectations they have visited your website, it was not met. So it's a challenge for both product team as well as marketing team to figure out the reasons, because it could be that marketing channel was giving you junk traffic. So it has to be stopped. The traffic is not relevant at all. So instead of, so you can save your dollars there and re-spend that dollars somewhere else where you are getting a good traffic. And from product point of view, if a bounce rate is high, it can also mean that whatever people were looking for, they did not found it. So your product needs improvement. So that's why it's a challenge most of the times to figure out the reasons. And of course, there are analytical ways to figure out the reasons. And once we'll go through the course in detail, then we'll also work on those reasons, how we can systematically analyze that. Okay, whether it is a product problem or it's a marketing problem, and how we can resolve it. So this is the concept of bounce rate. So in this image, I can see my visits, I can see my bounce rate, and I can compare that. If my visits increase, my bounce rate is also increasing slightly. So it means if I'm trying to market to a non-relevant audience, which is helping me increase my visits, my bounce rate is also increasing. So basically, I have to optimize it to a level where I can maintain it to a certain amount. So that's why this dashboard is important. It can tell me that what is that optimum level. This graph can tell me what is the optimum level. I have increased my visits, but my bounce rate has also remained constant. Next dashboard, the image that I see is off-site social actions versus site transactions. So okay, yeah. So basically, this is data hub of activities. So and this is the visits. So what does this tell me? Data hub activity, this graph is data hub activity. It tells me what I am doing on my social media. I am posting a lot of things, I am putting a lot of images, and how the visits are changing with it. So what happens at many times, uh, uh, visit may not come directly through social media, but you do a lot of activity on social media, you start seeing sudden increase in your traffic. So suppose today I'm posting football images, I'm posting something related to World Cups, I'm posting something related to cricket. Tomorrow I'm posting something related to politics and a lot of other things. I'm doing a lot of activities on social media, which may be relevant, which may be irrelevant, and I see the pattern how visits are changing in according to that. So this graph will tell me how it's happening. So on, as you can see on Feb 22, I did a lot of activities and my visits increased suddenly. So it's important for me to check what I did on this date and figure out whatever I did, it actually worked. So that's how it works out. So on each activity that you're doing on social media, you can measure how your visits are getting impacted. Then we have on-site social actions, which is basically the social actions that people are doing to your post, liking and sharing. Then we have value of socially engaged. So this means that out of whatever visits happened, how many people are socially engaged, whether they have liked your post, whether they have shared your post. So all these social engagement parameters tell you how your site is performing in social media. So whether people are liking your product, whether they are engaging with you or not. So then we have most socially shared content. So this will tell you which content was most popular among people, so that you know that okay, if people are sharing say politics content, it means that people are the audience that I have in social media is more inclined towards politics. So next time, to keep them engaged, I'll probably post political content. So it will give you ideas. It will give you a lot of insights, like what which contents are popular. So next we have, which is again important parameter, social visits and quality from mobile. So these days a lot of focus is on mobile, and it's a good point because 70% of the traffic in e-commerce sector is being observed from mobile. 70% sales are happening from mobile, only 30% from website. So a lot of companies are focusing on mobile apps and how to improve customer experience on mobile. And unfortunately, unlike website, the experience from mobile varies drastically. So it could be that one handset is opening a website properly, but maybe some other handset is not opening it properly. So there are a lot of issues in mobile, which there's a lot of challenge for technical team to fix this. So that's why this any information that we have has to be do with mobile. We have to figure it out, segment it into Android, iOS, and devices, and then work on it. We have to see in details what is doing good and what not. For example, in this report, what I can see is Samsung Galaxy Nexus, 181 visits and 57 seconds is the average time of people who spend on the page. So probably Samsung Galaxy Nexus is the most popular mobile that people are using to visit this page from social media. So I have to make sure that whatever product, whatever post I do, whatever images I do, it should be working with Samsung Galaxy Nexus. So then we have social source value. So this is again an important parameter. What this tells me is out of the visits that have happened, what is the per visit value of a customer? It means if I'm an e-commerce portal, then all the visits that I've got from social media, what is the sales that have happened from social media? It's a ratio per visit, how many sales are happening. So this is the important parameter to track because I'm investing my resources, I'm investing my money in social media, and sorry, if it's not working well, if some other channel is doing good, then I should focus on that. So if my per visit value from social media as per this figure, as per this dashboard is 11.45, and I see a similar dashboard from Google AdWords, and I see per visit value from Google Analytics is $25. So it makes more sense for me to bump up the money from here and put it over there. So that's why this dashboard is important. It will tell you as a CEO, as a social media expert, marketer, as a CMO, and any marketing guy, this who is responsible for social media, this data is important. He needs to know what is the value he's driving to the company. And then similarly, we have revenue and per visit values. This is a comparison by channels, the thing that I was talking about. So in Google Plus, I can see it's $3.39 per visit value. In Facebook, it's $2.61. In YouTube, it's $0.89. So basically, the value from social media derived is high. So I should continue marketing on social media. And this is a channel which is performing for me. Okay, moving on to our next dashboard. Yeah, referral traffic. So just like social media, referral traffic is also a sort of traffic. It's a channel. So any website like Yahoo, like Rediff.com, like firstpost.com, which gives me traffic, uh, is known as a referral traffic until unless I classify it in my advert in Google Analytics that which traffic it is, it will be by default treated as a referral traffic. So, okay, let me first tell you very quickly about types of traffics so that it's clear for you. So basically, we have mainly 4 or 5 types of traffics. First is the direct traffic. Whenever someone opens your website directly, typing the website name on the browser, that is known as a direct traffic. When someone searches your name on a Google or a Yahoo or any search engine and clicks on the results which are coming naturally, natural search results, that is known as a SEO traffic or organic traffic. Thirdly, when you click on the paid ad, either in Google search or Yahoo search or any other search engine, that is known as a paid traffic, paid search traffic. Similarly, traffic which apart from this, any traffic which is coming from any third site like referrals or you can say third party sites where you have posted your links and people are clicking on that and coming to you, that is known as a referral traffic. We also have further subdivisions and divisions like display paid search, display paid traffic. We have ad network traffic. But as of now, to understand broadly, I think this classification is good enough to begin with. And then these traffics are further broken down, which will, of course, when we'll do the course, we'll go through more details in this. So right now, I just wanted to give you so that you have an idea what type of traffics we have. So here, this is the referral traffic dashboard. So here we can figure out. I'll quickly walk through this. Yeah, so we can figure out what is the how is referral performing. So I can see that I got 742 sessions and my bounce rate is very high. So it means the traffic quality is not good at all. It's a very high bounce rate that I'm getting. So probably I should, if the traffic is costly for me, then I should stop it. If it's very cheap, then I should continue because anyways, if it's giving me any value, it's good. It's cheap. So I also see from mobile that bounce rate was low on mobile but sorry, when mobile bounce rate is 77% when tablets are included. So it means bounce rate for tablets are low, but for mobile it's high. So this is a good insight that my website is compatible with tablets. So maybe because of the design of the website, tablet has a bigger screen and people are comfortable using it, but in mobile they are not. So that might be a reason why bounce rate is high. Probably I'll have to dig into more data to figure this out. So this is one insight which I'm getting from this dashboard. Then I see the visits, how it's moving around. This is visits from referral traffic, how it's moving. It's not been a steady state. Sometimes it's high, sometimes it's low, sometimes it's high, sometimes it's low. So it's not stable at all. Now I can see by sources which is giving me maximum traffic. So some floating share buttons.com that has given me maximum session 642, and it also has the highest bounce rate. It means this traffic which I'm getting from this source is not good at all. It has the maximum bounce rate. It is a very high bounce rate and very high sessions. But since sessions are good, maybe I can ignore it if it's not costly. If it's costly, then definitely I have to take a call and I have to stop this. Now also I can figure out from cities which cities I'm getting traffic from. So not set means Google is not able to identify these IPs. Samara, New York, Bangalore, Seoul. So accordingly I can take a call whether I'm getting traffic from right city or not. Suppose my focus audience is India or my focus audience is US. Then I should not get traffic from any other city. If I'm getting traffic from any other city outside these countries, it means my targeting is not set correctly and I'll have to recheck with my traffic generation team and tell them that boss, the traffic we are getting is not correct. It's not for the correct audience. We're not getting the correct audience. Then we have visits and bounce rates by landing page. So basically we can figure out how referral traffic is performing on home page, on other pages which are popular. So as we see that 89% bounce rate is from referral traffic at the home page, which is not good sign. So it needs to be improved upon. Then visits and bounce rate by page title. So it's basically a page can have a page title. So similar group pages have same title, and I can see that by page title, what's the performance of this referral traffic. Another we have this is important report for technical team, which is site performance report. So in this report, we'll know mainly about technical things, and it's a very important dashboard for a CTO or a tech lead or a product manager. So you will come to know what's the average page load time. It's 19.85 seconds in this case, which is actually very high. To be true, as we discussed, 4 seconds should be a average load page time. So ideally, uh, the time has to be reduced. If I look at average server response time, it's 2.97. Again, it can be reduced. Domain lookup time, it has not caught up. So again, yeah, one important thing is how the site is performing to returning visitors and new visitors, because a lot of times your website is cached on user's browser. So there's a difference of times. So if I look at server response time, in returning visitor, it's very low. It's just 0.07. For a new visitor, it's very high. It's 3.7. Whereas average page load time is 28 seconds for a returning visitor, maybe because a lot of his information is already there, so they need to put it up. For a new visitor, it's less. So this gives me an insight that probably returning visitors are doing better in server response time, but they're not doing good in average page load time. So I'll have to reduce some of the cookies and some of the JavaScripts when a visitor is returning on the site. Mobile page load time is 7.72 seconds. Again, it's high. It needs to be reduced. This is an important report, page load time by browsers. So a lot of time what happens, your site may not be compatible with some of the browsers or some of the versions of browser. So whenever a testing team is testing your product, they test in all the browsers and figure out whether it's working in all or not. So this dashboard will tell you what's the response time in various browsers. For example, we see here in Chrome, my response time was 28 seconds, which is very high. So basically my website needs to be optimized for Chrome from tech point of view. So technical team needs to work on it. They need to reduce the product. I mean, they need to reduce the load from Chrome. They have to understand. So every browser has its own features and its own parameters. So for example, Firefox, it's doing pretty well. Not up to the standards, but still 7.32 is better than 28. So that's how it works. So this report will tell me which browser is working and which not. Similarly, I can see countries like what is the load time for various countries, and I can take a call whether it's if suppose I see that load time is very high in Germany, which is not even my target segment, then I can ignore it. But if I see it's very high in India, which is actually my target segment, then it's a problem. I have to work on it. Then again, server response time by countries, which is something similar to domain lookup by country time. Then we have load time for popular pages. So each page has its own load time. This will report can tell me that which pages are taking more time, and I can accordingly start working on them and reduce their load time. So all this will ultimately end up in improving the customer experience. So now we'll go to the CIO's dashboard. So in CIO dashboard, who is the chief information officer, he will mainly be interested in knowing there are no spams, there are no virus attacks on the site. So he might be interested in knowing the cities from which traffic is coming. So this is a list of cities from where you're getting traffic. then you can actually figure out if there's if any city which you are not targeting and you're getting traffic, might be might be a possibility of phishing, or might be a possibility of I mean, there's a warning. He has to be alert that what's happening with this city, why traffic is coming from a particular city. So he can further deep dive into service provider. He can figure out who are the service providers, what are the sessions they have given, and accordingly he can take a call. Then he can also get information from by network domains, like which are the network domains who are giving you traffic. Then the source and medium, basically source and medium is again a measure of traffic. It's like from where you are getting traffic. For example, we saw in referral we were getting maximum traffic from floatingsharebuttons.com. So it is giving me 642 sessions. So all the support will come to CIO as well, so that he can figure out whether any website is a spam website. They're not generating spam traffic. So traffic whichever is coming is relevant, and it's not virus, and it's not a phishing site. Yeah. So next is the CEO's dashboard. So this is mainly a high level dashboard. Yeah, CEO must he may not get involved in each and in every depth of the details, but he must know the superficial top level numbers. He might want to know what is the total visits on the website, how many percentage are new visits, so that he can accordingly take a call on strategy, whether it's on track or not, whether new visits are coming or not. Then what is the average visit duration on the site, which in this case is 1.44 seconds. So he can understand that, okay, I mean, 1 minute and 44 seconds is good enough for users. They are the average time they are actually doing some activity on the website. That's not a irrelevant traffic. Then bounce rate, what is the bounce rate? Then we have pages which are important. For example, homepage got maximum view. Then we have Coupon Express. So all these details will tell him which pages are important. So he will have a superficial idea. Okay, these are the top performing pages. Then visits from social. So these days, social and mobile are in focus. Hence, he will also have an idea of like how many visits are happening from social traffic, whether it's relevant or not. And these are the graphs which will tell you like how the performance has varied over with time. So for new users, for average session durations, for bounce rate, and this is like again by device he can figure out what's the performance. So here he see that 11% visit happening from mobile, very little from tablet, and maximum from desktop. So which is actually, if you look at the trends, this is the reverse. So right now trends are 70% of the traffic is coming from mobile in general, and 30% from desktop websites. Here the trend is reverse. 11% is coming from mobile, and more than 88% is coming from desktop. So basically he needs to figure out whether it's a right strategy or not, or probably he needs more marketing to fit in the trend. Maybe he's losing a lot of customer on mobile because site might not be mobile optimized. So he'll catch a hold of CTOs, and he'll catch a hold of his team and figure out what strategy should be. Then he can figure out from country whether the countries are right target countries or not. If not, then he has to catch hold of marketing team and figure out why the traffic is being generated from non-relevant countries. He can also visualize it in a map that which are the more important countries from him, from where he's getting traffic. Yeah, guys. So I believe it's time to take up the questions. So basically, guys, this was just a very quick, brief snapshot of dashboards. So of course, there are a lot of deeper things that we'll go into once we take up into the course. So there are a lot of more things that we'll topics that we'll take up one by one, and we learn to basically record, analyze, and then finally report what's happening and what recommendations should be done, what things should be done. So this webinar was mainly to interact with you all to understand what your questions are, so that I can also have an understanding what you expect. So whatever questions you have, please key in your questions section, and I am ready to take the questions now. Okay, so I'll take up the questions that I'm getting. So first question is from Ganeshwar Rao Mantri. So Mr. Ganeshwar Rao Mantri has asked, please explain bounce rate. So, Mr. Gyaneshwar, bounce rate is when a person visits a website and he closes the website without even doing any activity. That is counted as a bounce. So, bounce signifies that either the customer that came to your website has came accidentally by clicking on some ad accidentally, or whatever he was looking for, he did not found your website to be relevant of it, and finally decided to move on. Arun Prakash has asked, why is the average paid load time shown? Okay, so Arun Prakash has asked a question. Why is the average page load time shown as zero for few browsers? So basically, in the report when we were doing, so few browsers, the average page load time was zero. So Arun, it means that those browsers have not yet opened the website in that time frame. So if a website has not been opened up in certain browsers, it will show all the parameters as zero because it was not even used. Another question from Arun Prakash is, why homepage is showing twice in CEO's dashboard under pages more viewed? So basically, Arun, that was a tagging issue. So basically, homepage was tagged twice. Hence, you were seeing two views of homepage in the page in that report. Meeraj Mishra has asked a question. In this course, do we learn to create the dashboards you showed from scratch, or it is just analysis? So, Meeraj, you will learn to create the dashboard from scratch. Dashboards are customizable, and you can very well create the dashboard of your liking. These were just some best KPIs, best practices that I showed out, which could be relevant to CIOs and to CEO. Of course, dashboards vary from requirement to requirement, from company to company. So maybe a company which is non-e-commerce, maybe a news site may have another dashboard requirement. They might want to track content readability, how many people are reading their content. They might want to track articles, how many articles have been read. So dashboards are pretty much customizable. This was just examples that I showed. So during the course, I'll teach you how to create the dashboards from scratch. Don't worry about it. Okay. So Gyaneshwar Rao Mantri said the reports you show on the slide was designed in which technology? So basically, Gyaneshwar, these reports were being pulled out from Google Analytics. So Google Analytics, I'll just show you. Just hold on. I'll show you the dashboard also of Google Analytics. So yeah. So this is the Google Analytics dashboard. So this is my login. So when you'll do the course, I'll give this access to you so that you can play around with it. I will give access so that you can learn the tool in detail and understand how it happens. So basically, it's a part of curriculum. I'll teach you how to work with this Google Analytics tool. So this tool gives those dashboards. Okay, coming back to a presentation. Yeah. Uh, okay, Nagarjuna Manikante has asked a question. What other analytics tool do we have apart from Google? So Nagarjuna, there are many tools available. For website, we have Omniture, which is mainly Adobe product. Then we have a site catalyst. Again, it's a Adobe product. Then for mobile apps, we have a dedicated tool known as Apple. But the problem is all these tools are paid, and Google Analytics is freely available tool, and since it's a Google product, the advantage of using it is associated with all most of the Google products like Google AdWords, Google AdSense. You can integrate even SEO tools along with Google Analytics, so it offers you a lot of leverage over other tools. Even Google AdWords, Google Analytics has a paid version, but it's not needed. Most of the things are being able to manage from Google Analytics itself. We have a lot of other web analytics tools like Leapfrog. So there's no limitation of tools. There are many tools available in the market, but at the end, most of the time, the end objective of the tool is again to record the data, to analyze the data, and then to take meaningful insights and actions. For which I think Google Analytics is sufficient enough, but definitely there are a lot of tools available. Mr. Puneet Garg has asked, please tell me the course fee. So, Mr. Puneet, it's available on the portal. I'll share the link with you. It's already, you can get in touch with the Edureka support team and they'll let you know what's the course fee. So, Meeraj Mishra has asked another question. If from scratch, what tool programming language will be used? So, Meeraj, you don't need to use any programming language. You will be using Google Analytics, and I will teach you that. I will give you access to that so that you can work hands-on whenever you want to on that tool till the time the course is going on. So, don't worry about any programming language. This course does not require any programming expertise. But yeah, if you have an idea of how internet works, like how websites are working, what are the various marketing channels, what happens when what happens from product side, just basic understanding will help you to understand this course better, to appreciate this course better. Otherwise, I'm there, I'll guide you through, don't worry. So Puneet Garg is asking what is the course fee. So Puneet, honestly, I'm not aware. So Edureka team will be able to answer this question. You can get in touch with support. I think it's there on the product on the course page itself. Regarding modules, there are 8 modules. So each module will extensively cover the web media analytics. So it's a 1 month course, weekend course, Saturdays and Sundays. Classes will start in the night 8 till 10, and we'll have 8 modules, each day one module, which will be followed by quiz, which will be followed by a lab session, and of course I'll give you access to my Google Analytics login, so you can work on the live website, you can work on the live website, practice this tool, and you can work on pull out the data and analyze. So regarding fees, you'll have to get in touch with support team. They'll definitely be able to answer this question, I'm sure. 8 modules will be there. Yeah. So another question is from Shubodh Shrimali. How to connect social media sites with Google Analytics? So Shubodh, there is a way, there is a set method how to do it, and I'll be there to help you out. I'll guide you. So don't worry about it. Once you will go through the course. So basically, there's a hub activity that has to be some settings have to be enabled in the Google Analytics, and some settings have to be enabled in social media as well. So when we'll start the course, so I'll do it. This was just a preliminary class. Just a introductory webinar. So in details, there's a way and we'll do it. Okay, Rohit Rai has asked a good question. How to track referral in app and what are the key features of for using GA for mobile apps? So basically, Rohit, when we use GA for mobile apps, there's a SDK that has to be stored in, that has to be downloaded in your mobile app, and it has to be used. And there are ways when we'll set up, when we'll do this course, we'll take all these details into consideration and we'll work on it. So the last module, module 8, is purely focused on mobile apps. So that's the time when we'll work on this, how to track referral traffic in app, and what are the key features, and how we can, how we'll set up the mobile app for GA, and what are other features that you can track in app apart from referral as well. So a lot of things that you can do in mobile app. You can track how many new app downloads happened, how many existing users are interacting with your app. So all that we'll take up in the last module, that is module 8. So module 8 is totally dedicated to mobile apps. Nagarjuna Manikante has asked another question. How many weeks to complete the course? So basically, this is a 8 week course. Sorry, this is a 4 week course, 8 sessions, Saturdays, Sundays, and 2 hours each session. So it's a 8 module course. Rohit Roy has again asked another question, which is a good one. What is the advantage of GA over others like Mixed Panel? So, Rohit, honestly, there are multiple tools and many tools available in the market. Mixed Panel is one of them, which I have honestly not heard of. Maybe it's a popular tool. I missed it out. So, I can tell you the advantages of GA. So, GA is a Google product. It's freely available without any fee. You can, and more than 56% of the websites across the world are using GA. So, one advantage is being a Google product, you can integrate it is very easily, very simply with other tools like other Google products like Google AdWords. So in Google AdWords, if you are aware of how Google AdWords work, so in Google AdWords you can set bids for certain keywords which will run in the search advertisement. But in Google Analytics, you can figure out what's the performance of audience captured from those keywords. So it helps you to analyze what's the performance of Google AdWords. It helps you to analyze what is the performance of Webmaster Tools. Again, it helps you to analyze what is the performance of AdSense. And so that's why GA is used. Mixed panel, honestly, I'm not aware of. So it's a, as you say, it's a Twitter tool. So maybe, I'm not sure, maybe it's used only for analyzing Twitter. It's not used for analyzing website. So GA is mainly focused on the entire web and app analysis. Okay, Shanta J. Kumar has asked another question. Do we need to upload the data to GA for analysis, or GA will directly access source database data? So basically, Shanta, there are ways you can upload data to GA for analysis. That's known as custom analytics. So there are ways you can, but actually for the work that we'll do, we don't need to upload any data. So GA will access your website directly, and it will pull out the data. So that's how it works normally. There are certain JavaScripts that has to be pasted on your website. So once you do that, the GA can access information from your website. I'll touch this point in detail when I'll be doing the course, because there is a entire, you can say, couple of slides based on this, how GA tracks data and how it can be done. But yeah, in short, to answer your query, you don't need to put any upload any data in GA. It will directly access your website. And there are ways to put custom data which is not there in website. Suppose, for example, I have some offline sales apart from online sales, but I want to put all the sales in GA. I can do that. There are ways I can do that. Hope I have answered your question, Shanta. Okay, so I got one more question. What's the difference between WordPress and GA? So basically, guys, WordPress is a tool that is used to create websites. So of course, there are plugins available that will track the data. So you can track how many visits are happening, how many other relevant things, but it won't be as extensive as GA. And second thing is, if you'll use WordPress for tracking, so it will slow down your website, whereas GA tracks the things using JavaScript, so it won't slow down your website. So that's one major difference between WordPress and Google Analytics. WordPress is a web building tool. It builds your website, it designs your website, whereas GA is purely and only made for analytics, web analytics. Okay, Rohit Roy has asked another question. GA doesn't slows down the performance. So basically, Rohit, of course, it does slow down the performance, but to a manageable level, not very high. But anything that you'll add on the website will impact on performance. Not even GA. If you add an image, if you add any more, the more and more features, the more heavy website becomes. The more and more features you add. But yeah, it works on parallel. It works on JavaScript mode, so it won't slow down. It depends how you use it. So if I put a GA code on, say, after the say on the footer side, then my entire website will load and then GA will load. So that's how it works on which position you place the codes. So it's recommended to put it on hover. It's not a heavy code, so it will not slow down the performance considerably. Okay, guys, any more queries? Come on, this is your time to ask. Ask me as much as you can, as you want. Okay, so Rohit, one more question. If Rohit is asking if a website is very rich in UI, then how will it affect using GA? So basically, GA uses impacts very minimally, so it won't affect much. So honestly, it's negligible. The impact of GA on a website is negligible in terms of performance. Definitely will slow down, but it's negligible. You can ignore that. So it's very light. The code GA uses is very light, so not to worry about speed while using GA. Okay, guys. So I can take a couple of more questions. If you have any queries, please type in. After that, support is always there, so you can always get in touch with Edureka support for any queries you have regarding fee of the course, regarding timelines of the course, regarding modules, regarding any queries in general. Any queries you have, probably you can all anytime get in touch with support. So if you have any queries, we still have. I think we are already out of time, but not an issue. I mean, we can still take a couple of minutes. Just let me know if you have any further queries. Okay. Shanta J. Kumar has asked, is this real-time tool or runs as a batch jobs? So, Shanta, this is a real-time tool, but definitely there is some delay. So, I believe GA takes, I mean, it runs in real time, but it reconciliates the data and maybe the correct data you'll get after 2 days. So I can show you how it works in real time. So there is a section itself. Just hold on, I'll open my screen to show you. So there is an option for real time. So in this, I can see in real time how many visitors are there on my website. So this will tell me the real-time data itself. Suppose right now there are active users as 0. So if I'll open the website, it will become 1. So that's how it works. But actually, the data that I will be using for analysis for large, you can say details, it takes around 2 days to stabilize. So after 2 days, the data will reconsolidate and it will work on the data. And probably after 2 days, I will get a stable permanent data. Okay, guys. So I think, guys, if you have any queries further, you can anyways get in touch with support. Okay, I got one more question. Does GA counts those pages which are not registered with GA? Does GA use scrolling? Okay, Rohit, so let me tell you how it works. So each page has to have a JavaScript embedded for GA to register that page. So if pages are not registered with GA, so it doesn't work like that. So if the pages, I will say, does not contain that JavaScript code, then it will not be accounted for in GA. So for example, I have a website containing 5 pages. Now out of 5 pages, 3 pages contain the GA JavaScript, the code in it. So those 3 pages, every activity will be recorded. The visits will be tracked, page views will be tracked, all the details will be tracked. But the 2 pages which does not contain the code will be left like that. So they will not account for any visits, they will not account for any activity. So it doesn't work on crawling, but yeah, it works on JavaScript codes. So this JavaScript code sends back the data to the GA servers. When you'll open the website, so these codes will start sending data back to the server. What's happening? What's the user activity happening? So I'll cover this point more in detail in the course when I will walk through how GA actually tracks the data. So one more gentleman asked the same question. So this will be covered in detail when we'll do the course. There are a couple of slides on it. How actually GA tracks data, what are the various parameters involved, what are the various infrastructure involved, and how it actually reports it. Okay, guys. So, guys, I think this is it for questions. So, let me do one thing. What we'll do is, what my plan is basically this course is mainly focusing on analytics, digital media analytics. I'll just give you a summary about it in very short couple of minutes. So, this course focuses on digital media analytics. The thing is, it is relevant for product managers who wants to improve their website, who wants to figure out what's working and what not, and also it is important for marketing managers who want to understand which channels are working and what not and how to actually figure that out. So this course is a comprehensive, you can say, web analytics course. It's a digital media analytics course which will cover every aspect. So starting from marketing channels till product management till your product features, everything will be covered. You'll learn how systematically you can track what is working, what is not working, and how you can improve on it. So that's the end objective of the course, to make you track the data, understand the data, analyze it, and finally take some insightful, meaningful actions. So guys, have a nice day. Hope to see you in my class soon. In case of any further queries, you can definitely reach out to support team, and we can answer through that channel. I'm always available. So support will pass on your queries and we can work on it. Not an issue. So thanks guys. Thanks for your time. Have a nice day. Bye. And sorry for extending the session. I think it went a bit long. And also, please don't forget to give the feedback. It's very important for us to improve on ourselves. So, and if you are happy, then we'll also know, okay, what is the thing that people are liking actually, so that we can focus on that. And if there's something that you don't like, probably we'll improve it in future for the batches. Thank you, guys. Bye.